Can you hear me okay?
Michael?
Mic check? No, no, we don't need to. I don't want to. Just because I got this one here. What's on that?
Michael?
Check.
Wonderful.
Marco.
Ready?
Michael.
Polo.
Polo.
Jackal.
Polio.
Here's your camera. Everybody, Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Right. 5, 4.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. We're coming to you live all the way from right here in Tejas. That's right, Texas. We're here back in my home state and very close to my home village called Houston. That's where I grew up, mashallah. And what's the name of this little bird where we are here? We're in Clear Lake, aren't we?
Yes.
That's the area, but I wasn't sure if we're in the proximity of Clear Lake. What happened to the other lake? You know, the muddy one.
We already killed that.
Yeah, okay. By the way, if you don't laugh, the jokes will progressively get worse. Just let me cackle now. All right. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen. We say praise be to Allah, the one and only God, the only God of the universe, the one that created the whole thing and created Adam and Eve, and from those two brought forth many nations and tribes and made us different so we could recognize each other. You'll find this in chapter 49 of the Quran, and it's very clear. There's only 18 verses in chapter 49, if you didn't know that, Surah Al-Hujurat. And when you read it, you'll find a lot of wonderful things about people. If you want to know who we are, what we're supposed to be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, that's a great chapter to start with, and then read the explanation in detail, which is called tafsir in Arabic language, and you'll be surprised, so surprised to find out, here's everything you wanted to know. We would probably all agree, even people who don't believe in God at all would still agree that there are certain things that people do that are just really not nice. Just really not a good thing to do. Now we're not talking about murder. That's something obviously in Islam, if you kill one innocent person, like you killed everybody on the planet. So, but we're talking about something here about the character of a person. You can read these 18 verses and be so surprised. If you know the Arabic language is much better, but to get the explanation, we can work on a little bit. In the very beginning of the chapter, we find that Allah is talking to Muhammad, peace be upon him, and explaining to him that you know, these people here that you're talking to, the ignorant people, they're treating you like the days of old. You know, when they used to shout at each other, "Hey, man, what's up?" You know, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. This is not the way we treat each other. And they have no right to talk to you like that. This is, I'm giving you an explanation of it. So, it tells us how we treat our Prophet ﷺ with dignity, with honor, with humbleness, and actually a lot of the companions after that would not even speak up unless they were spoken to. They would just wait until something was said and figured if we need to know, he'll tell us. That was an amazing time, you know. And then it goes on then to tell us about some of the things of people dividing up into groups. Now, earlier on in the Quran, we found that in chapter 3, Allah says, وَاعْتَسِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. And this is following a big order to have taqwa for Allah. So I'm going to digress just for a second and talk about that. Maybe if you've been watching this right along, you know I've been talking about this shield that we have, the logo for Guidance TV. And some people thought that we were just copying the interstate sign here in the United States. Well, it looks like it. Unless you look real close, you'll notice that ours is blue on the top, red on the bottom, and theirs is the other way around. Also, ours is a little bit fatter, because all the words wouldn't have fit in there if I had done it the other way. But more important, this represents something very big to us. two things. This represents two things that are essential to be in the right way. First of all, you have to ask Almighty God to guide you, because you cannot guide yourself, and nobody else can guide you either. You might think you can, but until the one and only Creator opens up your mind and heart to this reality, it ain't going to happen. That's just how it is. And that's why in the very first 7 verses of Quran, it says what you're supposed to say to Him to open that door. Edina, which means what?
Guide
Guide us. And that's what it says right there. Now, how do I get this? Now, I'm asking Allah to guide me, God Almighty. You can call Him Dios if you speak Spanish, God if you speak English, Allah if you speak Arabic. The more appropriate thing is, of course, Allah, because it's His name. Whereas in Arabic, Ilah is any God. So He is an Ilah, but He's the only Ilah in reality. So that's what we say, La ilaha illallah, except for only one, and that's His name, Allah. And you've asked Him to guide you, right? Watch what happens. Go right to the next chapter. You know, Idina Surat al-Mustaqim, Surat al-Ladina namta alayhim, Ghair al-Maghdubi alayhim, wal-Dhalin. That's it, finished. Now look at the next chapter. Alif Lam Mim. Dhalikal Kitab al-Rayba fi. Hudil lil-Muttaqin. That is the book, not this. That. Dalik is that, not this. Some people wonder why did you make a big deal out of that? Because most of the translators say this is the book. It says that is the book. Dhalikal Kitab al-Rayba fi, the book with Allah, which is untouchable. Nobody can even reach it except the Malaika. This is the tafsir, I'm giving you the explanation. Then it goes on to say, that book, which has no doubt in it, which is what? Quran. Then it's Huda, what does that mean? Guidance, the same thing you asked for. Hidayah, Ihdina just is Hidayah with the imperative of the verb. When you say Ihdi, means you guide me, you know. Like if I said Qira, that means recitation or reciting. But if I say Iqra, I'm ordering you to recite something for me. Same way. So here it says Ihdina, and you're asking Allah, or actually you're telling Allah, guide me. All right? Here it is. Hudil lil-Muttaqin. So the Quran is a guidance for you. Well, actually, it doesn't say that. It says for the Muttaqin. It doesn't say for everybody. It doesn't say for An-Nas or Al-Jinn. It says Muttaqin. So I need this word. What is Muttaqin from? Taqwa, right. So I need Taqwa. What is Taqwa? Who will tell me what's Taqwa? What is Taqwa, the noun, not the verb?
To fear Allah. To fear Allah.
Khawf is fear.
Oh.
Khawf is fear. But Taqwa is related. It's related. How did you know that? You got it from, I don't accept that dalil. MashaAllah, you're exactly right. The actual word taqwa is shield. That's why we have the shield. It is you have to put up a shield. When these kids play their games that they have, you know, those weapon games and all that, somebody gets a laser ray, you need a shield against it, give up so many points and you got a shield. And that shield protects you from this, protects you from that. The only shield that will protect you from Allah's anger on the day of judgment, the ghadab of Allah, on those people who have earned Allah's anger, and I need a shield against it. So this is a continuing story here. It's not just like leaving you high and dry. You said, guide me, I hope you get guided. No, there it is. Just keep reading. That guidance is going to be from the Quran, provided you put up a defense, a shield, out of your fear for Allah on the day of judgment, because His punishment is going to be heavy duty on that day. That's, so everybody's right. If you said piousness, righteousness, a guard, a fear of Allah, all those things are correct, because it all comes from this one thing. I need to put this protection up. I need that shield. And so that's how this combination comes. And now you think about that, that's cool. I'm asking Allah to guide me, and what is that? I need to get my shield up, I'm ready to go. Our youth can relate to that real quick because they're used to these games, these video games and games online and so on that deal with that. And I like to bring things down where I can understand it. You know, as we say in South Texas, you got to get the hay down where the goats can eat it. Not that I'm calling anybody no goat, but you get the idea. So anyhow, the good thing about this chapter, I want to come back to chapter 49 of the Quran. The good thing is that it helps us to understand what we should and shouldn't do, avoid doing, and stay out of as a group. Because what I quoted to you from chapter 3 said, وَاعْتَسِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Hold tight, all of you guys, to the rope of Allah, together. Wallah, and don't faraka, wala tafaraqu. Don't make faraka. Don't separate. Don't get into a group. Don't break off from everybody else. I'm right and everybody else is wrong, because that's exactly what puts you out of Islam. You'll still be wearing your hijab, you'll still be growing your beard, you'll still be doing your prayers, but it won't count, because you broke off and you disobeyed Almighty God. Do not fall for these tricks. This is all inspired by one character. The same character who refused to obey Allah at the time of the creation of Adam. He refused to obey a simple command, bow down. He said, I ain't bowing down. I'm better than him. Well, you want me to bow down? You made me from a smokeless fire. Hey, hey. You know, like cool fire. And well, I'm giving you a meaning, you know. And him, you made out of dirt, and you want me to bow down? Not happening. Who said that? Satan, the devil, Iblis, Lucifer. Call him what you will, we all know he's the guy. The one that enticed Adam and his wife Eve and got them out of paradise. And it all started out of what? Kibr. Yes or no?
Yes.
It says in the Quran, Kibr. Kibr means what in English? Comes from kabara, which is actually means to be bigger or greater than. Something's bigger than something else. That's bigger, that's greater, that's greater. Kabara, 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 until you get to akbara. And only Allah is Akbar. That's why Muslims say Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Nothing else matters. If you understand La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, you're okay. Good to go. No matter what happens after that, you know He's in control. And by the way, He does not accept anybody to make partners with Him. Therefore, if somebody else says, well, I'm Kibber, I'm big, I'm, you know, not in front of Allah, you don't do that. When He tell you to do something and you say, well, I don't think I need to do that, whoops. Oops. Who do you think inspired you to say that? Same one that said one, look at what he said. Look what he said. When Allah told him, you're going to go to hell because you didn't bow down, right? He could have just thrown him on the spot, not say a word, right? But no, He told him, he had a chance. He could have said, wait, hold it. I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. Where do you want me to bow? How long? I'm ready. No. Instead, he asked, he made a petition, or what we call dua. He said, let me take him and his offspring all to hell with me. I'll show you they're worthless. I'll prove it to you. I'll take them to hell with me. What? What kind of mentality is this? You'll be happy if you can take somebody else into hell with you. That's what kibr does to you. You think you're right and everybody else is wrong. And you don't even care what the outcome is going to be because you're so convinced. Do we know of any groups like that in Islam? Do we know of any groups of people who do that exact same thing? Actually, you can read about them every day in the news, see them on TV all the time, right? And they think they're doing the right thing. When you hear about Muslims in a country fighting other Muslims, they're both messed up. Are they both messed up?
Yes.
What did the Prophet ﷺ tell us? If a Muslim is killing a Muslim, watch what happens. Watch. They both go to hell. One kills the other one, they both go to hell. And the companions of Muhammad ﷺ said, well, wait a minute. We understand this guy go to hell because he killed that guy. Why would the other one go to hell too? He got killed. He said, yeah, but if he could have, he would have killed him. Intention counts in Islam. In case you didn't know that. Your intention is registered immediately with your Lord, whether you think so or not. It's serious business. So for us, what we need to look at, read that chapter. I didn't even get to the good stuff yet. And I've got to wrap it up already, giving me the signal. We've got to move on. But I love this chapter. You want to find out about what happens when you form a little group and you start putting down somebody else. And it turns out, according to Allah, that that group you put down is probably better than you are. And for a group of women who are putting down another group of women, and we've all seen it, guys. Don't pretend like you didn't hear it, okay? You know when they say, oh, did you see the way that those guys, they dress like, oh, and you know, they're from over there, and we're from over here. As soon as you hear it, go, A'udhu Billah, and run out of the room. Or hang up the phone. Get away from that. Because what's happening there, you're losing your rewards with Allah. Because anybody you damage like that, they're going to be collecting from you on the Day of Judgment. Now, hold on a second. What about, now let's talk about this guy now. All right. All things aside, now we're not talking about groups now. We're just talking about a guy. Now, we saw him. He was in an alleyway. Now, you know, I would never say anything bad about anybody. But, isn't that how it goes? Yeah. Yeah. But, don't show that to me, okay? I'll let it slide by. When you hear that conjunction in the middle of the sentence, actually, it means I'm going to do a U-turn right here. It's not and, it's but, we're going to turn around right there. Yeah, and then you're going to see it. It's going to come. Because then he's going to begin to do character assassination out of this world. For instance, just think about this for a second. Here is a guy that we know. All of us, we know something about him. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't do much. He just kind of, you know, Assalamu alaikum, salam, that's about it. But I saw him in an alleyway. Oh, yeah? What was he doing? Well, I hate to say anything bad, and I mean, you know, that's not in Islam, but I saw him, he had a can in his hand, and let me just put it like this. I'm not going to say what it was, but I know who the manufacturer is, has a great big eagle on the front of their building. I'm not going to say Bush Brewing or anything like, oh, I said, oh, sorry. And I saw that can, and then I saw him throw it into the trash and walk out on the street and look around. Not saying anything, but do you realize now what's going to happen? The next guy who hears this, he goes, hey, you know so-and-so? Man, he was drunk and good brown. He's right there in the alleyway falling down drunk. Right? Next guy, oh man, he's some party down in the street, out in the alley, he's drunk, probably on drugs. Next thing you know, this guy is robbing banks and everything else. But now let's go look inside of the head of the brother and find out what was really going on, right? Find out what was going on. He's walking along, right? And he hears a sound in the alley. He goes back in there and sees what it is. It's a cat. All right. And he says, look around. Okay, it's all right. And then he sees a can on the ground. And he remembers the hadith of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, whoever removes obstruction out of the way, they get a reward of charity. So he pick it up, and he said, oh, that stinks. That must be beer. He doesn't even know, right? Walk over, drop it in the trash can, come out and look around, see if he can find anything else to pick up and get more reward with Allah. And he didn't find anything, so he just went on. But Allah gave him lots of reward, didn't he? Lots and lots and lots and lots of reward. Here's the Hadith of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Translation to Texas English. Our Prophet ﷺ let us understand something by the way he talked to his companion. He said, who was the most impoverished on the Day of Judgment? They said the Masakin, the poor people. He said, no. The poorest guy is the one who shows up with a mountain of good deeds. Huh? The poorest guy is the one who shows up with a mountain of good deeds, but, here we go, turn around, but there's a long queue, a long line right in front of him of all the people that he did wrong to. And they're all going to collect. Every single good deed that he had is exposed now to these people to get their rights. One by one, or 10, or 20, or 100, or whatever it was, this guy is losing it faster than you can count. It's going down fast. That mountain, whoa, became a small hill. Then it became just a little pile, and then it was a couple of little good deeds left, and then zap, gone. Gone! But the people are still in line. So Prophet ﷺ said, then they begin to take their sins off and put them on this guy, until as a result he goes to hell. And that is really, really bankruptcy, or khusr. Khusr. Inna ladina aminu wa amilu salihat. Except for who? Everybody's going to be in khusr. Kulun nas, all of the human beings. That's in Surah Al-Asr. Wal Asr. Innal insana lafi khusr. Bankruptcy. This is what it means. It says loss in translation. It's bankruptcy. It means you can't pay. Yom Hisab means the day of reckoning. And what does reckoning mean? And we use that word in Texas all the time. Well, not just I reckon I will, I reckon I won't. No. Reckoning means you're going to settle your account. You owe me, pay me. There's no more talking. Pay. And you can't pay, you're bankrupt, and that's hellfire on the day of judgment. May Allah save us from that. And that was just off of one thing. That's before we even got to the fact of what backbiting is all about. Now, again, in Texas, we understand this term backbiting real well. And Allah says, don't backbite. Riba in Arabic language. He said, you would hate to eat the flesh of your dead brother. In the same way you should hate backbiting. And some people ask the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, well, what if it's true? He said, if it's true, that's ghibah, that's backbiting. If it's not true, it's worse. Like we just heard in the example. Either way, you lose. Yeah, but I'll say it in front of his face. It is anything that he does not want said about him, whether he's there or not. Is there any exception? No, not backbiting. There is an exception for being able to communicate something you know that's very bad about somebody to one that's about to get married or do business with that person. That you're allowed to do, but very limited. Somebody asks you, you know, my daughter, I want to get her married to this guy over here. What do you think about him? You know him? Well, being you ask me, I will tell you this. I wouldn't marry my daughter to him. That's it. Why? I'd rather not say. But you ask me, and I'm telling you, don't do it. That's it. No more than that. No more than that. That's permissible in Islam. But by the way, you better be right. Second is in a business transaction. I'm going to do some business with this guy. What's your opinion of that? I did business with him, and I wouldn't recommend it. There, that's all you got to say. You don't have to tell him about the $10,000 that you guys were fighting over. You went to court and blah, 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 blah. And just, I wouldn't recommend it. Let it go. Because from your point of view, you say, oh, that's my point of view. That's exactly what it is. It's your point of view. Keep it to yourself. And if you're right on the day of judgment, you collect. But if you're wrong, not only you don't collect on the day of judgment between you and that guy, now you've spread some stuff on him and you're going to lose again. You're already mad at the guy. Why do you want to give him some of your good deeds? That's a dumb thing to do. If you're really bad at the guy, why are you giving him all your good deeds? I sure don't want to go to hell for a guy I don't like. It doesn't work. By the way, that's exactly what Iblis is going to do. He's going to hell for a guy you don't like. Think about it. And I'm just trying to encourage myself and all of us in simple English language about some of the beauties of the Quran. Regardless of how you read it or understand it, it is a guidance for those who really have taqwa. We ask Allah to guide all of us and all of you. We want every single person to know the true message of worshiping one God without any partners. The God of Adam, the God of Abraham, the God of Moses, the God of David and Suleiman, the God of Jesus Christ, peace and blessing be upon all of them, and the God of Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, peace be upon him. It is very clear in Islam that we always believe in God as one God without any partners. He has no associates or affiliates. He alone is in control of the entire universe. And He alone is the one that is our benefactor. We always ask from Him, and then we thank Him for whatever He gives us. Even sometimes when we're not too happy with it, we say it's still from Him, it's God's will. One of the things that our prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, told us, and I like this word, ajib. You like this word, ajib? Ajiban is said in this one hadith. Ajib, amazing, astonishing. Yeah, and another translation, awesome. I like awesome. You like that? Kids are using that word today. It's awesome. The condition of a movement, of a believer. Because only good is going to happen to him. That's awesome. Yeah? Because anytime he gets what he wants, he'll be thankful to Allah. He will be thankful to Allah. He's happy with what he got, he'll say, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Allah. Praise be to Allah. But when he gets something he doesn't like, it's hardship for him, and difficulty comes to him, he'll be what is called the Arabic sabr, which translates as patience, perseverance, steadfast, hanging in there, not giving up. In other words, being cool at a hot time. So if you want to be cool and be awesome, then be a Muslim. And it'll work. It's the best thing for you. Have you ever thought about it like that? And it works. And the Prophet ﷺ said, and that's only in the case of a true believer, a Muslim. So if you really have the faith and you really understand what faith is about, it's to believe in God even though you don't see Him. It is to trust in God even though you're not really sure what's going to happen next. It is to know that your God, the only God, is the only source to go to when you need anything. And I am no exception to that rule. In fact, there are no exceptions to that rule. Alhamdulillah. 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 Now you're watching a live broadcast coming to you all the way from Clear Lake. And I guess it used to be a muddy lake and they cleared it up. But anyway, we're here. Remember what I told you. No laughing. Jokes get worse. I have to bribe my audience, but anyhow. We are coming to you live from right here in Clear Lake, Houston, and we're just having a wonderful time on this trip. This has been one of the most rewarding trips that I've made in years, and I make them every week, sometimes 2 or 3 in a week. But having just come back from Australia, and then California, then Ohio, and now down here in Clear Lake, I'm wondering where the bus is going to take me next, but I'm sure ready for what Allah has for us, because it's been a great pleasure being back home with some of my folks I haven't seen in so long. And you'll be with us tonight. We're going to be live again, inshallah. That means God willing and the creeks don't rise. That's Texas translation is inshallah. Yeah. I hope Allah forgive me for these real loose translations, but I'm having a good time anyway. But if you're watching this right now for the very first time, let me explain something to you. My name is Yusuf. Don't confuse that with my wife says useless, but I think she has speech impediment or something, I think. But anyhow, just to come back to the subject, you like that one. Now you'll laugh. We're back, anyhow. Yeah, but we're having a good time. We are Muslims. What? How did you turn on that channel? No, hold on a second. Don't panic, all right? what does Muslim mean? Let's find out real quick. Let's just take the word itself and do a little bit of dichotomy with this. We're going to break it up in a couple pieces. Also, we'll do a little bit of depth of going into a word and looking at its root, and it's called etymology, not ophthalmology. It has nothing to do with your eyes. It's etymology. I wonder if I could be an etymologist. I haven't thought about that. Study on that one a bit. Anyway, take the word Muslim and find out what is mu. Mu means in English. Mu is in English. Whenever you walk, you're a walker. Yeah? When you pray, you're a prayer. When you travel, you're a traveler. Right? In Arabic, let's take some of these same words and put motion to that and see what happens. If I said I'm praying, which is salah, someone who's doing salah is musalli. Musalli, not a sullier. Right? Musalli. You put a prefix instead of a suffix, and it's mu instead of Yeah, it's simple. It's really a simple thing. Once you get it down, it's a cool thing, you know? So, if I'm traveling, the word is suffer. Now, sometimes when you travel, you suffer, but that's a whole different deal. Safari is the word that I'm talking about. In English, we're using an Arabic word for a trip to Africa. Safari, that's Arabic. Safar. And you would be a musafir. If you travel, you're a musafir. Simple. Yeah? Now, if I call, I'm a caller. Hey! Hey! Like that. That's calling. Caller. Now, in Arabic, when somebody calls for the prayer, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Okay, he's calling. That's adhan, and he's the adhaner. No, mu'adhan. Get it? Mu'adhan, musalli, musafar. Name some more. Mu'amala. One's doing the action. Yeah, see how it works? Moo. Has nothing to do with cows. That's another Texas joke, right? So take the mu off of Muslim. You nothing got it but slim, right? What is slim? No, it's not joking. Slim is from silm. That's the root. Silm. Sin, lam, mim in the Arabic.
Peace.
Yes, peace is in there. You're right, but there's other stuff too. Salam is peace, right? Yeah. So Islam is not peace. Wait a minute. I'll prove it. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Wait a minute. You didn't say Islam alaikum. I gotcha. Thought about it now, huh? Because Islam is bigger than salam. Salam in Hebrew is shalom. Because they reverse the sin and sheen. There's their opposite. That's why you find a lot of Hebrew, you'll say sa, where you should say sha in reverse. Okay? The sin and sheen are reversed. But anyway, back to our subject. Sin, lam, mim. Sil, right? From this comes a verb. A lot of words come out. Thousands of words are coming from this root. But there's one particular one, aslama. Aslama is the one, this is, by the way, the real scholars taught me this, I didn't make it up. Aslama has at least 5 that I'll refer to right now, but has many, many words, not meanings. These are words to make the total meaning. Aslama contains surrender, complete and total surrender. Put your hands up. Both hands up. Hey, get your hands up. I'm talking to you. Now. Now, put them up. I'm going to show you something. Ah, there you go. Getting you ready for TSA inspection when you go through the airport. And then, don't forget, when you get there, you'll get a visit from Random. You know Random Lee? Yeah, old Random. He's there waiting for you. Step aside. You've been randomly accepted here for our anyhow. But so the first is surrender. second word is also in there at the same time. That's why there's no translation to English. Because also is submission. Submission, I submit. Whatever I'm being told now, like the judge is telling me, you know, this is your sentence. This is what you got to fine, you got to pay, whatever. Submit. Don't argue. You got to take it. Third, obedience. You're going to obey the commandments of Almighty Allah. Fourth, I love this one, sincerity. Sincerity is in there. Now watch, man, this is all together at the same time. Drop out anything here, and then you don't get the big one that you mentioned, peace. Peace is there, but you're not getting it until you do these. You got to surrender to Allah. You have to submit to Allah. You have to obey Allah. And now watch this. Number one, look at this. You got to be sincere to Allah. And is it 99.9% sincere? Nope. 100%. Only for Allah. If you do that, you get peace. By the way, could I stop for just a second and look at this word, sincere? Can you force people to be sincere?
No.
I order you to be sincere right now. Say, what? Like, you know, hey, you better love me. Sure. You'll just put the gun down. You know, I'll just love you a whole lot more than I do right now, that's for sure. You can't force anybody to be sincere. That's a contradiction in terms. It's called an oxymoron. You know, like government intelligence. Or something like that. Anyhow, to come back to this. I get sidetracked too easy, don't I? All right. Now let's take a look at what a Muslim really is. A Muslim is one who will surrender and submit. And he will obey in sincerity. Then he's going to be in peace with whatever Almighty God gives him. That would be a natural result. If you're really sincere, you automatically will be in peace no matter what comes your way. And he will grant you peace around you, even with difficulty. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. In the mouth is free Israel. Any difficulty, he'll bring ease after that. He will bring ease. Don't panic. There are things that happen to all of us. And when I reflect on them, I can think, gee, that was a hard thing, you know, something happened in it. But still, because I'm Muslim, I know that ultimately it'll work for good. Some of us, and we know what it feels like to lose a child, a young child. And if you've been through that, you think like nothing's worse than that. But check this out. Also, there's those who have been diagnosed with a terminal disease. I just heard of one of our sisters yesterday that worked with us up in Dallas. And she is terminal, and very soon they don't expect her to live much. And she's young. Wonderful lady, did a lot of work for Guidance TV. We love her so much. But this is, what are we supposed to say? When you get this kind of bad news, and this is in the Quran, in Surah Baqarah, chapter 2. What do you say? You get some bad news. Something comes to you and it's like, oh, I can't take it. Like somebody died, for instance. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. From Allah we came, and to Allah is the return. From Allah we came. Allah is a return. If we just keep that in mind, stop and think, everything in between won't really matter, will it? If you were good, you tried your best, you'll be all right with your Lord on the day of judgment. For those who are not sincere, those who don't obey, we talked about the devil, and I think you get the picture now. Those of you at home watching this right now, you're paying attention to what we're saying, you got the idea, you got the concept. If you said, well, I don't want to be a Muslim, well, let's do it in English, okay? Do you want to be one who believes in God as the only salvation? Do you really believe that? And do you believe that you should surrender to His will? God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Hello, twice in the gospel. And then what about your love for Almighty God? The greatest commandment, according to Jesus and according to the Old Testament with Moses, the same commandment. To know, O Israel, the Lord your God is how many? To know, O Israel, the Lord your God is one Lord. And Him you have to love with all your heart, and all your might, and all your strength. And then the commandment like it, to love your brother as yourself. That's Islam. That is the word Islam. And one who does it is a Muslim. And I'm proud to say it. I'm a Muslim. And I hope Allah accepts that. And I hope that you will wake up one day and realize that not everything you see on TV is exactly true. Some of the things you read in the newspaper aren't exactly correct, are they? You can get more on our websites. We have 2,400 websites on the internet to help folks like you and me get the real facts about the world's fastest growing religion. In 2006, reported, or 2007, reported by the Catholic Church to now have surpassed and become the #1 religion in the world. The religion of the prophets. The religion of believing in one God. The religion of surrender to the will of God, called in Arabic, Islam. And we're Muslims. Simple as that. You should find out more. Check the website. I'm going to tell you what it is. Ready? What's Islam? Not what is. Somebody already got that one. What's Islam? WHATSISLAM.com. Check it out. Take your time. Then you can contact us, like CONTACT, contact@guideus.tv. You're watching Guide Us TV right now. And we're just about a minute away from going off the air. I just want to tell everybody that we got a big announcement coming up real soon. I can't tell you right now over the air, but it's this close. Real big something happening in Texas. I'm going to tell these people when we go off the air, don't you wish you were here? But be serious right now for 1 minute. If you support this channel, Allah will support you, inshallah. If you support the channel, and you can do that right now, you can do it. You'll see on the bottom of the screen right here, it tells you how you can help contribute. We do not run any commercials. If you've been watching this for the last 24 hours or for the last 3.5 years, you've never seen one commercial. Never seen an infomercial. Nobody showed you how to tease your hair, play with your makeup, or jump up and down on a trampoline, or run out here and get rich overnight buying and selling real estate. We didn't tell you anything about that. All we talked to you about is one thing: how you can be closer to God in this life and be in the best place in the next life. That's our game. That's our motive. That's what we're all about. Now, the other thing you notice that it was free. You didn't have to pay any money to watch what you're watching right now. If you did, somebody ripped you off, because we offer it free on the internet, guideus.tv. We offer it free on the apps. You can get Guideus, type it like one word, space TV if you're on Android, or dash TV if you're on an iPhone. And then antennas, and you can watch the antenna on any antenna. Plug it in the back of your TV, and you don't need the internet, you don't need the cable, and you don't need satellite. Just plug in a $5 antenna in the back of your TV, like one sister did in California. Her whole family is now practicing Islam. From a $5 antenna out at Radio Shack, and I would have sent it to her if I had known she wanted it, because I got some. And everybody watching it for free. It's not free to me, and I want to keep it on the air, and you can help. And that's how. Right there at the bottom of the screen, fill it out, send it in. Whatever you do, Allah will reward you for it. We got to run. I just want to remind myself and all of us to do what? Get guided with Guide Us TV. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Clear?
Takbir.
Alhamdulillah. That was my Texas power. We do have a lot of people coming to Islam, but more importantly, we have a lot of people changing their mind about Islam. They're dropping their weapons against us and saying, wait a minute, hold on, let's rethink this whole thing. Let's look again. So this is why we set it up like we did. And now, are you ready for the big announcement?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
That's where I'm at. Yes, thank you so much. You reminded me to raise funds. Don't worry. I won't forget.
And how is the
I think you just want to bring that cute little baby back up here. Somebody's pretty proud. She's a sweetheart. She's one of the first babies not afraid of my beard because I said, you got it ready for it. MashaAllah. 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 Anyway, the big news, guys, if you're ready for this. You don't even sit down anymore, right? Pack it up. Let's roll it. Yeah. The big news. Yeah, you don't need that either. Right? I just need that, right? Good to go. I love it. The big news. On my flight from Ohio down to Texas on Thursday, a text message came to me, and when I hit the ground, I opened up my phone and found that text message saying, and I've been looking, you know, I have these antennas I told you about, saying that an antenna just became available in Houston, Texas. And this is on an A channel. You know, the ones that are like channel 154 or something like that, those are B or C channels. This is channel 10. My other channels, like for instance in New York, we are on channel 42.4, California, that's New York City, covers all of Manhattan. Beautiful channel, doing a big job. Out in Los Angeles, we're on channel 35.2. And then in Dallas and Fort Worth, we're on 26.2 and 28. So 26.1 and 28.2, that's it. And then in Columbus, Ohio, we're on channel 32.5. Those channels that we've got are very intense because they are something the average person will reach a lot faster. Because if you stop and think about it, who would buy the Arab Sat? Because that's where most of this stuff comes from, the Arab Sat, which is out the opposite direction of Qibla. Where's Qibla here? That way? Exactly straight? Okay, Arab Sat is sitting right up there. Okay? And why would anybody want that unless they spoke other languages? Turkish, Bosnian, those languages are all on there. But as far as the average Texan, he's not going to, could care less. Also, they're not going to get a chance to go to the internet and look it up because that's not something they're just looking for. But everybody that buys a TV these days knows that they can get these digital channels free, and they can just go dunk, 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 dunk with a remote and just check it out. And what's really great is if any of the institutions or businesses want to put a TV set up and just let it play, and they go through, oh, there's a good channel, put it up there, let it go. They're promoting us without even realizing it. And the quality of the programs we have are the very finest that are available on the planet. Dr. Zachar Knight, a dear friend of mine, gave us the content of not only my shows that I made over there, but any of the shows that I want. Huda TV, good friends of mine over there, we've been working with them since they opened up, they did the same thing. So we've got the content, which is very important in business, plus the live shows that we do, the call-ins that we do, the traveling that we do. It helps bring non-Muslims together to see what we're doing, what it's all about, and get a better picture. And one of the famous people you might, I'm sure you know, is Hillary Clinton. And while she was running for the senator of New York, one of our sisters that makes the DVDs for me, a convert, is making DVDs for me, CDs, met her at a fundraiser. She was shaking hands with Hillary Clinton, and she didn't let go. I like this technique, right? She didn't let go, reaches in her pocket, pulls out a CD, and says, I want you to listen to this, and then I want to call you and you tell me what you thought. She didn't tell her what it is. Okay. And then Hillary Clinton made a big mistake. She gave her phone number to the sister. And sister called her every day, every day, every day. And finally she said, okay, if you promise not to call me anymore, I'll listen to it. Called her up the next day. She said, you know what? I listened to it, and I'd like to order for every police department in the state of New York, we need a total of 50,000 of those CDs. Yeah, she said that. The problem was, I couldn't get the money together to, in those days, to get the 50,000. We only got some less than 5,000 now. We did what we could, but anyway. I don't want this to be another chance that we miss, and that's why I'm telling everybody about it locally. Usually, in this kind of industry, you don't tell people anything till you got it in your hand, because other people go around and mess it up. They drive the price up, and then nobody gets it. You know, kind of like if somebody said, oh, I want to get this building over here. I got a real good deal. I can get it for 100 grand, right? It's a building and do all the stuff I want to do. I have a metal shop. I want to do something. Another brother go, hey, you know what? You know, I might like the metal business. Let me go over there. Hey, you guys take 110 for it? Yeah, and then somebody else 125, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden it's $1 million for the same building. So that's why you don't tell people your business. But in this case, because everything we do has to be shared, it has to be. Allah made it that way. And that's a good way. So if you want to join us with this thing, here's what we got. That antenna will be up and running from the time we sign the contract and give them the money. It will be up and running in less than 2 weeks. Imagine. And the reason and why it's so short is because we're already working with the system for that same company. It's just a matter of doing some checking in, plugging in, and all the rest of it. Less than, maybe even less than a week, but less than 2 weeks for sure. Imagine. And then we've got Guidance TV 100% right now. If I stop there, that's great, right? That's the beginning, not the end. Because we don't take any commercials. We don't accept any infomercials at all. However, on the local level, so that you guys can keep your channel going and growing, we want to have weather and sports and activities and all the things that people are looking for from the Muslim perspective. When we do the weather, this is one example. We don't say 30% showers tomorrow. We say tomorrow there could be showers, inshallah, God willing. And the same with the news. We don't come along and give this real warped picture of what's going on in the world. If we report on something, we give it straight out. And I don't know if you know the difference between what's on CNN and what comes on AP. It's not the same. Associated Press and United Press International release stuff to these guys, and then they put their spin on it, you know. And if you just read the stuff, the raw stuff that they get, you wouldn't get that same opinion. So this gives us a chance to put it out there. And by the way, the first people that are going to be watching you are actually the ones that are against Islam. You know why? Because they'll see the straightness of it and they'll like it. Without caring about what's Islam or anything else, they'll see the straightness, and that's what these people, a lot of them are looking for. They think Islam is crooked. When they see how straight it is, you watch how some of the worst enemies to Islam became Muslims after they saw the truth. The problem is not about Islam. It's about the Muslims who don't promote it right. That's the biggest problem. And that's why we're here right now, trying to help you see how to promote it. Now let me shift gears real quick. We'll come back to that later. I just want to give you an example of what happens when you want to give dawah to somebody that's in a retail situation. Somebody is like, for instance, a convenience store. Maybe they're working in a gas station. Maybe they work at the airport, something like that. Keep one of these in your pocket. Go ahead. Find a place, some pocket somewhere, put it in there. Is that better? Oh yeah. Let me get rid of this. There we go. That's much better. I don't want it to echo. All right. Now, you got it. And look at what it says.
It says worship the Creator.
Here you go. Wait a minute.
Worship the Creator, not the creation.
Do you know what that means in Arabic?
Abdullah.
Actually, khaliq. Yeah. Laysa makhluq. Exactly. And that's la ilaha illallah. Sah?
Oh, that's true.
It works.
Yeah.
You give them this, you say, I got a gift for you. And everyone I gave it to said, oh, I like that. That's a good saying. That makes sense. I like it. Even an atheist said that to me, and I'm like, huh? What happened there, you know? I want to give one to the ladies over here. You can pass a few of those down, let you guys look at that if you want. Just pass it along. We got some more back there. You can get them later. Take a look at it. Pass them around. Let everybody look at them. That bumper sticker on your car is not going to cause you any problem, inshallah. It doesn't say Quran. It doesn't say Islam. It doesn't have Arabic writing on it. It doesn't have any swords on it or anything. It's just real simple. And for them, it looks a lot like what? Interstate highway sign. In the red, white, and blue. Whoa. Right? So no problem. And if they go to the website, then what's going to happen? Maybe you're going to see this place filled up next year when we come here. I hope so. Now this is what we brought with us. This is some of the physical things we brought. Bumper stickers. I've got a brand new version of one of our oldest programs back there. It's called, by the way, you're supposed to be back there with the thing right now. Don't worry about this. This little pack itself, I don't see Brandon. I don't know what happened. Yeah, the idea was that there's a box back there. When you put the stuff up, you put something in it. So I'll have to go and make a different diversion here. Send me a box up here. Here we go. I'll let you do it this way. Just fill it up. Go slow and put in a lot of dough. All right. Hey. Put it back. Dig deep. What's this? Write an IOU, put it in there.
Oh, yeah.
Drop your credit card in there, I'll take care of it. Anybody have trouble spelling the word million on a check, just let me know. He threw his credit card in there. Okay. Call my travel agent. Anyway, let me explain something to you. This project that we have going right now is for Allah. But when we bring it locally, then we want the channel to succeed locally. I cannot support every... Can you imagine somebody asks you to put a TV channel in every city in the United States? We're talking billions of dollars. How are you going to get it? So the easiest thing we can do, I'll put it in, then you have responsibility in your community to find the people here who want to work, and we'll train them, show them how to do everything, but then we'll also train the salespeople to get the commercials from the halal businesses, and they can advertise right here online and on the air. It will only go to their antenna, which means you're not paying for something you don't get. It's no good to advertise on an international channel and you only have 2 kebab shops here in town. It doesn't make sense. But when you're advertising your business in your area, this is the best bang for the buck that anybody can get. If it's a Muslim in business in this city, he needs this channel. He needs it. And the competitiveness in the pricing, he'll love it because it's a lot cheaper than going to the channels that'll eat him up and spit him out. So this is it's a gold mine on the ground from that point of view. For us in the Dawah, we're just interested in getting the message out. But we know it takes this to keep it going. That's how it works.
That's better.
And then if anybody wants to, let me mention this. If anybody wants to use their credit card, we have that thing, Yusuf has it. That's the best thing. You just tell him how much you want to do. He fills it out. Bingo, it's done. Have you got another one? Is that the only one you got? Who would like to use a credit card? Who would like to use it? Would you like to use a credit card? Okay.
You're the first one. By the way, he gets all the action. He doesn't go to the first one.
Why?
Because he's the first one.
Ha 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 ha. First one that does it always gets the reward of everybody else that follows. But wait a minute, we should go by the one who put the first money in the box.
He did.
But you get the reward for that. I think, let's just ask Allah, give everybody all the reward of everything. How about that? If I put in a buck, I get the reward of everybody. I like that. What do you think? Who likes this? Me? Okay, that's it. That works. Now, if anybody else wants to use the card, Yusuf can help you with that. It takes a couple minutes. He's there, bang, boom, and you got it done. Oh, and also, if you want to do something monthly, there's the pledge forms in the back. You can use those. And when I was in Australia, they had me there for Islamic Relief of Australia and also for the masjid on the Gold Coast. And they were working together along with Guys TV. And they would take the microphone for the fundraising now. And they have an audience of maybe 5,000 people. A lot of people showing up. And they say, okay,
One-time credit card donation.
we're going to start with an auction. I said, what? Start with an auction? They say, yeah, we got some paintings, we have some jewelry. We start, who'll give $5, who'll give 10. I said, man, in Texas we start at the top and go down, not the bottom and go up. Is that right? So I take the microphone away from him, and he said, well, let's see, would anybody give $10,000? No? Would anybody give $5,000? No? Would anybody? I said, give me the microphone. So let's go back up. Go back up. And then, just ask Allah that He will give each of us who will say 1,000, give us the reward for 10,000 if we get 9 other people. If you say 1,000 and 9 other people say 1,000, well, ask Allah to give each one the reward of the total. Does that make sense? I asked the Sheikh, he said, yeah, it works, go ahead. You know what? On that first night, they raised $150,000 based on that. And they said, we can't believe it. I said, you didn't try. I mean, when you jump like that, down where you like, we'll give $2.37. We'll give $2.31. What are you doing? We can do that. We can make it real easy. So how many right now want the reward of 10,000, even though maybe you don't have 10,000? You put your hand up. Who would like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. Sorry. That's 10. Now each one of you who raised your hand up, fill out the card showing us how you want to pay that out. You can pay cash, of course, the credit card, of course, or you can make a payment schedule on the thing out there. I think that's 33, but how many dollars is that a month? No. 83. $83 a month is exactly in 1 year $1,000. So if you want that, we'll do it. So that's 83 or 1,000 now, or you know how you want to do it. But there's the things back there. So we do it again. Anybody want to do the second round because maybe some of you didn't get it. Now you can do it. Anybody want to? 1,000, but I need 9 other people with you to make it happen. Otherwise it's 1, okay, I need 9 others. 9 more. Who else? You can do a second one, no problem. You get the reward of 20 grand if you think about it, for 2,000. Who else want to do it? Got one brother back here. Anybody else? And also, if you want to talk to us about bringing the antenna, that's a separate thing. What we're doing right now is for the ongoing broadcasting. The antenna itself, if you want to know more about it, you'll be in touch with us, inshallah. Who was it put their hand up for the 1,000? Yeah, okay. If you want to, brothers can come to you, he can help you fill out the card for it. Just let him know. Huh? 1,000? All right. Who else? Why is it the girls beat us out? Have you noticed they put their hands up first? I think I'm gonna get in trouble with the brothers, but myself too, I guess. But I think I have to admit something. The level of iman for the ladies seems higher to me. Sorry, but it seems like they got a higher level of iman. And by the way, can I tell you about something? Have you heard women or men even attacking Islam, saying Islam is not equal? Have you heard about that? If Islam was really equal, men couldn't take it. Is that true? If Islam was really, let's say, everybody had to suffer exactly alike, men would be wiped out. Men don't have to have babies. Men don't have a monthly cycle, although they act like it. She must have my point. But seriously, in Islam, I will show you just a few things, real quick. Few things. Think about this. For women and men, is it equal in Islam? Yes or no? But is it bad? Is it bad? No. Watch this. On the one hand, women, they have babies. And that's a big deal. You don't even open the door. Forget about it. Second of all, they have to put up with us. True story? I'm not getting any argument on this side of the room at all. Remember my wife said my first child was But look at what Islam offers. Men and women both say Shahada, right? Same Shahada, there's no difference. Now these are the pillars, Both men and women say Shahada. But we want the man to say it in the front of everybody and hug everybody. But like the lady, she can just keep it over where she's at, take it easy. For respect, privacy, comfort for her, and plus no men are going to grab her and hug her, right? Okay, number 2, Salah. Salah the same for men and women? Yeah, 5 times a day. Same direction, but 2 things different. One, she doesn't pray during her monthly cycle. And she doesn't need to make it on? Yes or no? True? Nobody want to change that, right? No way. Those are perfect prayers, by the way. Did you know that? Those are perfect prayers. Well, I don't know if I did a perfect prayer yet in my life. I don't know for sure. You do. For each one you didn't do was a perfect one. Would you want to change that? No. No way. It gets better. This gets better. Watch now. Where does a man get the most reward? Front line, right? Front line, right side, right? Prophet ﷺ said that. A woman gets more reward at home, in private, by herself, right? On her schedule. We got to line up at the same time. If you said 1:45, that's what time Salah. You're late, too bad. You missed it. Want to change it? No. You like it. Perfect. All right, move forward. Next is Zakah, right? Zakah is the same for men and women. Yes or no? Not exactly. It's the same percentage, the same base, but when it comes to money, any time there's a will, somebody dies, a woman gets 1/3, 1/3, and a man gets 1/2. So he'll get half. Like there's brothers, they divide by halves. Women divide by thirds. Now that really sounds weird in a minute, right? Until, huh? It isn't fair, is it? Let's make it the same, okay? You want to do that? Well, you find out what will happen. Are you ready? You ready? Because in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Rajul, men have responsibility over the women. We have to pay all the expenses. You get to keep all of your money. Oh, yes, you do. The 1/3, you don't have to spend. No, I said you don't have to. A man has to spend his money on the ladies. Right? I have to pay for my wife's clothes, education, house, utilities, transportation, anything comes up. Of course, all the utilities of the house, all that has to be paid for the man. Right? A woman doesn't have to go out and work, does she? No, you don't. Sister, we're talking about Islam. We're not talking about what some men do. Okay? Thank you. Let's stay on our subject. We're talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's deen. Let's don't play with that, okay? Don't say Allah said it. No, Allah says 1/3, but you keep it. Men get 1/2, but you have to spend it. There's your difference. True or false? All right, now let's go to the next one. Talk about fasting. It's the same for men and women. Same month, Ramadan, same time in the morning, same time at night, except what? Monthly cycle, no fasting. And you get perfect fast recorded for you when you do make it up. Think about that. And all the prayers count. You don't have to make them up. Wow. And you can choose cooler days. True or false? You want to change it? I don't think so. Now let's go to Hajj. And I'm ready. Let's go for Hajj, really. In Hajj, men and women both have to do it the same. When Allah makes a way, it's easy for you. And you have proper protection. For the men, it just means that I'm not in too much danger. For you, you have to have mahram. You have to have your husband, or your father, or your brother, or your grown son. Then you're ready to go. Otherwise, if you don't go because of that, you have a perfect Hajj with Allah. Perfect. Why would you mess that up? Would you want to mess it up? You got perfect Hajj until it happens. How many women equal a man? How many men equal a woman? Never. Never. Never, never, never. No. You don't have to go. I'm asking you, why would you mess up something perfect? Because if you go with mahram, then you don't know, is it perfect or not a Hajj? I don't know what, we had this problem, we had that problem. How many made Hajj? How many made Hajj? Made Hajj. You know what I'm talking about? It's not easy, is it? When you get done, you're thinking, oh, did I do this? Did I do that right? Did I go, oh, wait a minute. What? And then you're asking the sheikh, do I have Hajj? Right? We all went through that. I made Hajj many times, alhamdulillah. But each time I always think, did I forget something? Did I forget something? If Allah doesn't provide for you a mahram, He's providing for you a perfect Hajj. If you go, that means you went against Allah on it, because you're not supposed to, then you may not have a perfect Hajj. You might have blown away the one good thing you have. And for sure it causes a big problem. I had some ladies in Hajj one year come up to the table at the breakfast table. They were complaining. They were saying, hey, how come when these guys are in the beginning of Hajj, they're taking care of us ladies, helping us out, helping their wives, but now they're only helping their own wives, and they're not helping us. I said, excuse me, but that's who they're supposed to be helping. He said, why don't they help us? I said, because it's a big deal. They can't do it. Where's your husband? She told me, the lady represented, she said, well, he's at home. I said, doing what? Making money. So why didn't he come? Well, he said, go ahead and go, and then he'll come another time. Which is backwards. He should go. If he doesn't want to take her, that's okay, because she wanted to go, but he didn't provide a way. As long as it's not your choice that you didn't go, that perfect Hajj is hanging there. But when you can go, then you have to. That's it. Simple. That's not hard to figure out. You want to go, don't you? I see it in your face. You want it so bad to go. Allah knows. He'll provide a way. Okay, let's do this right now. I need everybody to help me with this dua. Hey, I'm talking here. Shut up. Thank you. Thank you so much. Listen carefully. I'm making dua for all those who would like to make Hajj. So raise your hand if you want to make Hajj. Okay? Even if you want to make it again, like you and me. Alright? Okay, let's make serious dua here. Allahumma ya Rabb, ya Latif, ya Rahman, ya Rahim. Give Hajj Mabrur to all of our brothers and sisters here today. Ameen. Make it easy for us. Ameen. And give us the tawfiq, the success, and guide us to be the best of the best that we can be. Ameen. Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ameen. If you're serious in your dua, and you get up tonight and make this dua again, you'll be surprised what's going to happen. One of my friends, he was saying, there's no way I can do Hajj. There's no way. You'd hear him crying. He'd say, there's no way. I said, did you make dua? Yeah, I make dua. Then the day before Hajj, the last cutoff, and he's in Washington, D.C., somebody told him, would you like to go for Hajj? He said, man, don't, that's not funny. He said, no, really. He said, we got a way for you to go. If you go take your passport right now, you'll be on the plane tomorrow. And he flew away. Made Hajj. It's like that. He said, I don't know how I got it. I don't know what happened. He said, I just know, alhamdulillah, I got the Hajj. And he was an old person. He was so happy. He came back, he was a different person. He was so happy. And if you want something from Allah, that's the way to do it. Just get up in the night. Sheikh, you know that. How many times you get up in the night and you ask Allah, and then the next day you're so surprised. But then, as long as you get what you want, you take it easy. Then if the problem come up, oh, I'll get up in the night again, right? That's me. I know. We're all the same way. But if you make a habit of it, getting up in the night, each night, each night, each night, each night, this is what Rasul Sallallahu did. And you see what happened for him? How many good deeds is our Prophet Sallallahu going to have on the Day of Judgment? Because remember, whatever you call to, you get the reward for it. That means every salah that any companion ever made goes back to the Prophet Sallallahu. Every Hajj that any human being made since time of Rasul Sallallahu, he had the reward for Hajj, for Umrah, for Salah, for Sawm, for Zakat, for charity, Sadaqah. Every single good deed is all on the register, all in the account for Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And you can't beat that. That's the best of the best. So when it comes to being equal, we all have an equal chance in front of Allah to serve Him on His terms. But sisters, nobody has it equal. My challenge, my test is not the same as Shep, nor his. Nor is his going to be like his. Everybody's is different, but it's exactly to Allah the same, that He tests everybody according to who they are. He knows what He made. And you'll like it as soon as you give in to Allah and you say, Allah, I'm yours, take it. I'm here. Do what you want to do. Because ultimately He's going to anyway. And you'll find that you'll be so much happier. Take it easy. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. How you doing? You finished? Or anybody, last chance, go back there and keep this boy busy. He loves numbers. Go back and give him a bunch of numbers. Put a couple of commas in there and knock him out. Last chance. Because then he's got to come back up here and play like a technician again. Last chance. This is your chance. You get in on this. By the way, we were talking about rewards just now. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know what it's like? You don't know. I'm in front of a camera right here. 2.5 million people watching. 2.5 million. How many scholars would have been happy, think about through the years, just to have 100 people to read what they wrote? 100 people read, they'd be like, MashaAllah, 100 people, huh? I have more than 2 million fans on Facebook alone. It's true. And when it comes to the number of people making Shahada, I have no idea. I lost count back in the 90s when it went over 200. I give up on trying to, I know Allah keeps a record. But imagine just one person from your effort right now, what you're doing, one person comes to Islam. One person. And Rasul said, better than Humr and Naam, which is a herd of red camels. And another hadith, ad-dunya wa ma fiha, the universe and everything in it. And even if you just get the forgiveness of Allah for helping people along the way do better in their Islam, how good is that? So every dollar that goes in this, as it stands now, goes 100% for the channel. When it's a local channel, and they have advertising on it and stuff like that, then what you put up for that will still go into the operational part that brings the cable, our satellite signal to them, inshallah. So that's it. Wrap it up with that. Anybody have any question? Anything you want to ask? This is the time. Yes, brother. Come up here. I can't hear you over the background noise. Come on. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. What's your name?
My name is Yusuf.
Yes, sir. Well, what's your name?
Yusuf.
Yes, sir. What's your name? Okay, we already did that routine enough. How old are you?
I'm 18.
18 years old? You graduate?
Yes.
Yeah? Proud of you, man. My bro. All right. Got a question?
Yes. Is there any way to personally contact you? Like about any questions or anything?
I'm right here. There, we're in contact. What do you want to do?
I have a sister that's, she's Catholic and she's trying to learn more about Islam and everything, but she's Christian. I mean, she's Catholic, but her family is like Mexican and everything, and I'm trying to teach her about Islam. And she keeps asking me the same question about Jesus, like she doesn't understand how he's not God's son or God. And I'm trying to fix that, like explain.
You should have brought her.
She's working right now, so there was no way to bring her.
All right. What you can use, we have a website called whatsislam.com, or if we have a CD back there, grab it, one of those green ones, and you can copy it and give her a copy of it. But be careful, because dawah means to call somebody to something. Be careful what you're calling to. All right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anybody else have a question? Anybody else have a question? Hold on a second.
Someone wants to invite you to a college to provide a speech.
Anything for booking is done through Sister Amina, A-M-I-N-A. This spelled Amina, A-M-I-N-A, at guideus.tv. Amina at guideus.tv. I don't even discuss the bookings anymore. I leave it all up to her. If you find, brothers, if you find a woman that's organized, and keep you organized and take care of that, that's worth gold. It is. She'll help you. She'll give you the answers right away. Anybody else have a question? Anything else before we wrap it up? Oh.
My name is Rian.
How old are you?
11.
11 years old? Kind of big. I think you ate too much. What's your question?
You're so inspiring to me, and I watch your YouTube videos all the time. You just sound very.
Gee whiz, thank you. Oh, what do you want me to do?
Sign it.
Yeah, it's plastic. You can't set right on it. Let's see if we can get it open. Open it. try to catch this. There we go. You see it?
Yeah.
Really? Let me see what we got. Let me stop. You know what? No, that's not. Where'd you get this cool green pen?
It's it's yours. You can have it.
I want to know where you got it.
You can have that. This is from Mishkat.
That's what I was thinking. I saw one over there.
Mishkat.
Yeah, that's it.
It has
Maybe this will do it? Yeah, let's try again. Here we go. Nope, still the same problem. Stuff is not supposed to let you write on it because it's slick. There we go. Hey, 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 hey. All right. Oops, I should have waited for it to dry. You got it? Now, whose is this? Here, take it. For you. Thank you. All right, mashallah. MashaAllah, that's it. Like I said, don't try to cash it. Alhamdulillah. You have a question? Come up here. Tell us your name.
Ibrahim,
Ibrahim, come here. How old are you?
12.
12 years old? Yeah. What grade are you in?
I'm going to 8th grade.
8th grade? All right. Proud of you. You got a question?
Yeah. My question is what inspired you to become a Muslim?
What inspired me to become a Muslim? That's a good question. Takes a long time to tell the story, exactly 47 minutes. I got an idea for you. You got a good memory? All right. And I'm going to give you a website, and you go to the website, and you'll find the story. Whole story. Ready? It's real hard to remember. What's my name? Yusuf what? Can you spell it? Spell it.
YOUSUFESTES .com.
That's it! You got it! You get the whole story there. MashaAllah. Anybody else got a question? Come on up here. Tell us your name.
Ahmad. I'm 9.
Ahmad, you're 19. Don't jump the gun. Let me do it. I got a routine. I got to go through my... Okay, how old are you, Ahmad?
19.
19 years old. MashaAllah. Okay. Got a question?
Yes, Sheikh. Always, if Christian ask me why the woman covers her body or her head, what I should answer.
It depends. By the way, all of this depends on the way somebody asks you a question. If somebody comes to you and says, could you tell me about Islam? That's very nice. Then you tell them Islam is to believe in one God. But if they come up and they go, how come you're a terrorist? Okay, that's not exactly the same way, is it? So look at the way somebody asks a question. How come they're wearing a rag on their head? Okay, welcome to me. But if they said, why is it the women, they dress like the nuns in the church? If they said it like this, the answer is because they're like the nuns in the church. They believe in God, and they want to be close to God, and they obey God, and they are modest. And this is the way that women who really, really believe should act. Very nice. But for the one who's saying, I don't like that, I don't, it looks oppressive, it's a different story. You want the strong one. Lady walked down the aisle to me one time. I was standing like this taking questions. And she stopped right about there and she pointed over to sister and she said, why are they dressed like that? I went, She said, I want to know why they're dressed like that. I said, well, in my mind I couldn't think of anything, so I asked Allah. Put something in my mind, it'll work. I said, well, why are you dressed like that? She said, what? I said, why are you dressed like that? She said, what are you talking about? I said, well, she's wearing a long sleeve dress. All the way like this thing, practically, right? And high neck. I said, so why are you dressed like that? She said, what are you talking about? I said, is there anything illogical You don't, there's some logic here. It's missing for you. You don't see the logic of it. She said, that's right. Why are they dressed like that? I said, okay, according to logic, why are you dressed at all? What? I said, how'd you come into the world? What were you wearing when you came into the world? What are you talking about? I said, well, I'll help you. You were nude, naked, in the buff, no clothes. How about that? So I'm asking you, she was getting mad, why are you dressed like that? She said, modesty! I said, ah. Now ask them, they're going to tell you the same thing. The only difference is, you decided this was modesty, right? Yeah. And they let Allah, the creator of the heavens and earth, tell them what modesty is, and they accepted it. Next question. And what happened? She spun around and went out of the room. The brother that had brought me there to the university turned to me and he said, Check, that's my history teacher. I think I just flunked. Alhamdulillah. But I'll tell you a better one. Go to the website. You might want to write it down. Give him a pen if you don't mind. Hook him up. All right? Write this website. I'm not going to do the work for you. Write it down. www.sheikhgoogle.com. S-H-E-I-K. No, don't put an H after the K. S-H-E-I-K-Google.com. It's my website. You're not writing. You want it in Arabic or English?
SheikhGoogle.com.
Okay, SheikhGoogle.com or search for Islam. They're both the same website. And then type in the question. You gotta go?
Yes, I have to. I hate to leave, but I have to. And I'm enjoying it.
It was wonderful having all of you out here with us today. Jazakumullah khair. Make dua for us. And we'll keep making dua. You guys go get for Hajj. Okay? Maybe we'll see you over there, inshallah. Got it? When you go to the website, just type in the keyword, like Aisha's age, marriage. Because everybody asks about this. What's the age of Aisha when she got married? Or maybe they'll ask you, why do you pray 5 times a day? Just put in there, why pray 5 times a day. It'll bring it up. Anything they ask you, put it in, you got the answer. But more important, it'll show you how to answer the question. Somebody comes to you and they say, why do you have to beat your wives? Okay, first of all, you don't have a wife, right? But you say to them, thank you for asking me about my religion. You got it? You've seen it before? Check it out. It's all on that website. All right? Cool. Good to meet you, man. Okay, take the last one. We got to run. I'm going to be late if I don't get out of here.
Because you wanted to think.
Oh, you knew. Well, let's do that over there. Well, better yet, we can do it right here. Yeah. I forgot we put this up.